Here we are again.
So, yep, here we are again. This time, cognacs.
Yes.
This is your wheelhouse. I don't know anything about cognacs. The cigar, I do know about, which is the Ramon Alanis Specially Selected, which is a cigar that I would say anybody who smokes a lot of cigars, this becomes a daily cigar almost. It's one that you'll go to. Once you start smoking cigars, you really will favour this quite heavily. Right, let's light them. Where are we starting?
Oh my lord. Right, here we go. Today I've got 4 different cognacs. They are all aged differently. I love a brandy with a cigar.
Yep.
I know you're whiskey, so we are trying. With cognac made mostly with Uni Blanc. It's a great variety. Yes, you find a lot of that in white wines in the south of France. We're actually starting, we're not going with age this time. We're starting with what I think flavour profile. We're going to start with what I would say is the most delicate of the 4, okay?
Right, so a good starting point for the start of a cigar then.
Correct, and obviously after the whiskies, you can see the start, middle and end of a cigar. Yeah. What I wanted to do was start with the VSOP, but this is the premium VSOP. So VSOP, very superior old pale is what it's called. And the law states regarding cognac that they have to be aged for a minimum of 4 years.
Right.
Montefort, Chateau Montefort, they age that for a minimum of 15 years.
Oh,
so
okay.
it basically means you can infill with older vintages, but the youngest has to be 15 years old. Right. It's not an average. Most people think it's average. The youngest can be 15 years old.
So in that regard, then, it's like whiskies, because if you have a 10-year-old whiskey, and it's obviously a blended whiskey, you can have a 40-year-old in there, but the youngest can only be the 10.
Totally.
So it's a similar sort of premise to that.
It is, I'm not going to lie, my favourite out of the range. So it's always nice to start with your fave. But this one is aged for 15 years.
Okay. There's a very, very sweet, sugary sort of...
On the nose?
Yeah.
What do you get on the palate, though?
That's interesting. Oh, that's annoying. I can't pin that.
Exactly.
It's like, I know what that flavour is, but I can't actually tell you what it is.
So, cognacs, unlike Armagnacs, I would say they are more divisive with palates, because Armagnacs, I always find, have got slightly more guts behind them and slightly more burn. Whereas for me, a cognac, Armagnac, you want the flavour. You're not drinking it because of the alcohol.
You're drinking it purely for its taste.
There we are.
Okay. That is incredibly smooth. The cigar does pair up to that really, really well.
The start of the cigar does.
Yes. I think by the time you get down to the last third, that wouldn't...
I totally agree. I totally agree. This is lovely.
But this is just a great... Yeah.
So we're going to go with the VS now. So very special.
Yeah.
This is the baby, if you like, of a cognac. This has been aged for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So this, in theory, has been aged longer than a normal VSOP. Love the fact that for this VS, I'm just talking like retail price, you will get this find this on a shelf for £35. So you should get the nose of alcohol, which you do, because obviously you're talking about a spirit here, like whiskey. But I don't find there's a burn on this at all.
There's a bit more of a tang on the front of your palate, but it almost feels like you're missing the burn. Your brain understands what you're drinking and thinks, right, where's the alcohol? I can't taste that alcohol. Where is it? I'm missing this.
So you're getting the flavour. But doesn't that partner well?
Yeah, actually. 2 for 2.
Do we get you onto cognacs then?
I'm going to reserve judgment.
We can continue up the level now, but we're going to go for Montefort, the straightforward VSOP. This has been aged for 10.
That's interesting. There's not...
Much softer on the nose.
Yeah.
It is slightly darker in colour.
That's very much middle of your palate.
Yep.
Whereas the previous one was very much tip of your tongue, very front of your mouth. This is very much more balanced.
You can now see why this goes in the middle of the cigar. And this one should be catching you at the back of your throat, the flavour Because the burn isn't there.
Not as good as the previous one.
There you are.
But see, this is what I love about doing this sort of thing, because it doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. So far, the second one's been my favourite, I think.
Ooh, here we go.
Which is interesting, because I wasn't expecting that. I thought it probably would be the final one.
You're a cheap date. We're going on to the last one. XO. Not every producer of cognac produces an XO, because obviously it's a lot of money to sit in barrels. However, the law was changed. The minimum on an XO now is 6 years old, if I remember correctly. But this one's been aged for 30.
Wow. That is a decent colour, actually. That's a lovely colour.
Just smell that before you even sample.
The aroma on that one is the taste I've been getting out of the others.
Well, you're really going to dried fruits now.
Oh, crap. That's not good. I like that. That's really not good.
That's okay, because
No, that's going to cost.
No, you like the cheaper one, you like the more expensive one. That's fine.
Yeah, I figured.
Whereas I love the XO. Don't get me wrong. And the VS is kind of an open and, well, we can partner them with cigars.
If I was going to have the VS, if it was just that and one cigar, probably an Upman.
Right.
Almost certainly an Upman. Or even a Hoyo, maybe. The XO is going to be this Ramon, a Monty 80th, something with a lot of strength behind it.
Right.
Or a Partagas. Actually, I had an E2 the other night. It would go very well with an E2. It's interesting as well. XO, the most common cognac for a cigar smoker is an XO.
If you're going to have like a little Upman, you're not going to put it with an XO, are you?
Oh God, no.
There you are.
You just wouldn't. You would lose it. It would be genuinely a waste.
I just think they're lovely.
I have to admit, I'm beginning to dislike you. That is a damn good drink. That really, really is actually.
Pretty awesome. But these guys have been going since 1830. They're not the oldest. I think they're probably the second oldest cognac producer. And I just love the fact that they age it for longer than ever needed.
Yeah.
And they obviously know what they're doing.
I think that's absolutely brilliant.
We do have another Pale and Dry from Delaman. They claim to be the oldest cognac producers. I think it's absolutely incredible. For a bottle of this, you're looking at 100 quid. Well, this got me really into cognac, aged cognac, shall I say. You do get slightly more vanilla with this, I would say, but it'll be interesting to see what you think.
Oh, wow, that's different. That's very different on the palate.
Punchier.
The back of your palate.
Totally.
That instant, as you can hear, that almost exhausts all the moisture out of my tongue. And it's like, wow, that kind of...
makes you sit up and take notice of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the good thing is you've got all of these available.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to know.
To me, that's got a softer flavour profile than the other XO.
Yes.
But you've definitely got more of a hit with that.
Yeah, you definitely feel that more.
Yes.
Brilliant.
There you are.
Okay, that's another one, dear. Thank you very much.
Anytime. Thank you.